Hello everyone, welcome. I am your Retro Gaming Idol. Tonight we got a couple of treats for you. It's gonna be an extremely long night together, so please be patient. I will be taking breaks for mandatory health reasons throughout the evening, but I hope you are all doing well. This is, for me, like Monday evening-ish. Well, late afternoon, early evening. And I have elected to go ahead and do what I was going to do anyways, and there was a big sleep gap that we had in between content today. Now, this sleep gap will not be a thing because I will be going ahead and playing some games with you all tonight. This game was scheduled, the next one was, is definitely not, but we're doing both, and we're doing both happily. Why? Because we here at RGL need to go ahead and keep the lights on. That includes server costs, maintenance, tech support for the hardware that we use to keep everything going for you all. Little bits of things here and there. So this is a charity event specifically for that. We only do this once a year in February, so hopefully you all are here to have a good time, whether you're able to give towards the cause. You are giving either donuts, you are giving your time, you're giving your love, and I appreciate you all for being here. This is going to be a very long night, so we're going to spend a lot of time together. My voice is probably going to go breaking at least once. I've tried to reserve it as much as I could between yesterday and today. So here we are, this is PK Scramble. PK Scramble is a Earthbound randomizer. There is one of 3. You can play this on Archipelago. It is different. There are different settings that way if you play it on Archipelago as opposed to playing it in PK Scramble. There's also the old Ancient Cave randomizer, which works similarly to how Lufia 2 did theirs, which is a lot of fun. I am awful at Ancient Cave, but back then that's all we had. There were things that were like an enhanced vanilla that did a lot of quality of life that the Ancient Cave did first. And that was actually really cool. So shoutouts to that team. Leave my glasses off before we get started. So hi, how are you all doing? This is a pretty long marathon, and it keeps getting longer, it feels, but it's a good thing because we're here to actually just hang out with you all and have a good time. Sorry, my throat's not all that great, and it's gonna be a long night tonight, so gotta keep hydrated as best I can. Earthbound immortal enemy monsters from 5Ds. I mean, some of these bosses are about as tough as them. So yeah, this was the thing that was on the schedule tonight. So I wasn't expecting... I guess I wasn't expecting to go on as early as I was. So that's why I'm still... I was like, it took me a long time to set up because, like, I had done a... Let me turn the music off here. So it doesn't be in my ear for like 3 hours. Or whatever this ends up being. I wasn't really prepared because I was in the middle of some epic quest to do Valentine's Day shenanigans in Warcraft. Which ended up not being a thing because they closed the event apparently in the middle of the process we were doing to actually finish the event. I'm gonna have to send in a ticket to them to see if they're willing to give me the item in exchange for the resources that I gathered. So I left the items in my inventory and such, so we'll hopefully get that fixed out. I'll send in a ticket after everything tonight. So yeah, other reasons I wasn't here on time was like, I was like sleeping. But I woke up before we started, so that's not me being sleeping through my shift or anything. Oh my god, these are horrible. Okay, those are some of the worst ones in the whole shuffle. You don't get a chance to pick which ones you have besides plain flavor unless you reroll the seed. I am going to preface this in saying Earthbound, You know what? I should actually say this in chat and post this too. I'm going, yeah, we need to open up and say that this game is actually very, very light sensitive, unfriendly. So, thankfully I don't really stare directly at it, so it doesn't really give me a headache or anything. So, yeah. That's just me giving you a health warning. If you want, you can just, like, leave the tab open and listen with me for a few hours, or you can go on audio only if you're on mobile. And we're gonna play some games together and have some fun, and not give you all seizures. Hopefully there will be a day in the future where this game gets entirely patched, or there's quality of life for the randomizers that allow you to just completely negate a lot of the flashing lights in this game. Do not look directly into critical hits. Yeah. that is pretty much it. 5 character limit, except for the favorite thing, the food at. What am I naming the pet today? What am I naming the pet today, chat? I don't know what I'm feeling, honestly. Yeah, like a lot of different randomizers have gotten around to doing that. EB has not, as of this particular evening. Give me this pet. Pet only gets referenced like once or twice in the game, but you know what? I think I figured it out. Jim Carrey's my pet. Okay, I'm going to also say that favorite homemade food being tacos. Yeah, I at least leave tacos in the bag on like Taco Bell that night. Yeah, that would have to be like some sort of patch, I think. Or like some heavy amount on the randomizer's end that patches it out during the file generation. Alrighty. Here's this mess incoming. I actually don't know. This isn't a Play-Doh or anything. Eggs for favorite food? I mean, there's a lot of things you can pick for it. It gets referenced in a couple different times. Alright, give me 1 sec to clear my throat. If you and all 4 are ever up this way, and I'll make you guys tacos. I do make some pretty solid tasting ones. I use a special recipe though that totally isn't something you would ever find on a menu because most people would find it weird, but it's actually extremely nice of a flavor. It's very mild. Anyways. Let's get this mess started. If you see me pause during shops, that is me taking notes as to where things are in, like, shops that I need. And we're gonna have some fun for a few hours, and then we're gonna get on to the bulk of the evening, so, you know. I guess this would be the skull of the evening if that's the bulk of the evening, right? Yeah, okay, cool. Alright, pun's over. 3, 2, 1, go. This is a 4-side start. That's not entirely common. What else we got? Oh, not on winners. I mean, winners is a free one. Thanks for the good luck. We are probably going to need it because this game is wild. Let's see if we get another jet seat like we did last night. Spoiler, that thing didn't last long. Yeah, this is gonna be a long night of me having to mute to clear my throat out. I've got a lot of congestion, so. I got a Franklin badge. That's actually pretty huge. What is that button? What do you got in here? Sandlot bat, use French fry pan. I mean, French fry pan's pretty nice. We're not gonna have the money for that for a little while. So I guess we go back to... I mean, if Forest was our starting zone, either Mines and Desert or Moonside will be easy. And that's good, because hard Moonside is awful. And extremely frightening, so getting that out of the way early for an area is really good. That's unfortunate. Stat capsules will give you a small bump to your stuff, the most important ones being Vitality, IQ, which dictate the amount of HP and MP you get on level ups. This is on Archipelago, yes. So one of my biggest complaints about Earthbound Archipelago for the longest time is that there was like major problems in seed generation that weren't being fixed, but they finally did get around to patching those, and it is in a working state now. So I do recommend it. I think it is on the process of getting reviewed for official status. So that's actually huge from when I last played it, like a year or two ago anyways. Let's see. So the PK emitter, this will be a Jeff item that will let you cast a spell over and over. So in other words, this is going to be Psychic Wave, which is Nessa's unique. So there's going to be two different tiers of that. That's the first one. That one's going to be some decent trash clear later. I would love for you to play Earthbound as well. That would be amazing, because this game is amazing. Peanut cheese bars are very solid heals, so good to have a location for that in your head. Call them PCBs, peanut cheese bars. That is Mr. Saturn's favorite food, and honestly, who doesn't love a good granola bar? There it is. That is a good thing. I actually got this for my birthday in 1995. And I played the heck out of it. I even laughed when I dug into the scratch and sniff cards. These were gross. There was a Sandlot bat actually. Enters? Let me go ahead and sell this cap and buy that upgrade. We're gonna go back to Winners, then we'll come back there. I still have to get another item from there. Few different ways this can go. The bat, or not the bat, but the cap will give you a +6 defense upgrade as opposed to a regular baseball cap, which is only $19 and gives you +5. In other words, we sell that every last time. Your starting weapon is randomized. Like a lot of the time you're going to get something really garbage like slingshot or yo-yo, but we had a t-ball bat there, which is actually like the highest we can roll for that. That's not bad. Yeah, we'll go back to Onett again. I think we can try probably Frank fight would be one of the first logical steps, or it could be completely something that nukes us, one of the two. Frank fight is Belch and Guardian General. I guess I can handle that. I've got offense for it, but I need levels for that. Starting weapon is, yeah, it's a small pool of starting items. It would either be cracked bat, t-ball, slingshot, or yo-yo. So we got lucky today and used it in precisely 0 fights. Pencil Eraser is really good early. Alright, so I want to get at least one fight before we go ahead and head into the arcade. Literally one fight, I do not care. Unless, of course, it's something in, like, North Onet that might kill me or something. You are not gonna tell me there's no spawn. So, Earthbound is normally a game where there's very heavy amounts of enemies spawning. But one of the randomizer flags you can do specifically for PK Scramble, not for Archipelago, is you can set your starting ratio of how often enemies trigger. I am at the bare minimum, which is 10%. Okay, gruff goats are fine. This is a safe area to be in, because we're only fighting these. We've seen what the damage on this has done from previous marathons. I'm gonna go ahead and grab that. So we have learned a skill. Skills I think may or may not be shown here. Okay, yeah, they're only shown in combat. But they are special things you can learn. Ness can learn 2, everyone else can learn 1. Where we go ahead and actually I think most of them can learn 2. I don't remember if it's been updated that way. Of different enemy skills that you can use. What the hell is that thing? Oh god, this could be really bad. This can be really bad. Okay, it's not bad. You see a present box and you know what late game things come out of present box sprite enemies, and you get actual PTSD from this game. Do I have level 5? Okay, so. Alright, we're gonna swing for the fences here. And immediately get blasted for it. And then get stun locked. Great. Okay, sure. Alright. This is... what do we got here? Bomb? Hell yeah. Okay, we rolled a free seed. Our unique spell for Ness is Psychic Bomb, which is basically like throwing a regular bomb, like a consumable, except it's in non-elemental damage form, and it's really dumb, and it's really good. And it isn't affected by speed and dodging like, Psychic, what do you call it? Jeff Rocket is. So we just literally got a free seed. It's gonna be another one of these things like last night, right? I say that and I'm gonna get punished for it, I'm sure, but you know. Police badge. Okay, we were meant to be here then. Good news. You can go in here and rest next to your big pile of vomit. And now that you're fully rested after your encounter, you can go ahead and save and withdraw the money that you just got, which... I have money and XP set to max just for, like, the sake of not having to grind heavily because there's not many enemies that spawn for trash mobs. Ooh, that's not bad, actually. That lets us buy a few things. I didn't really lose my train of thought, I just didn't have much more to say on that subject. I'm gonna do my best not to be too chatty during this because I need to save some of my voice for the last half of the night. Politician! Boo! But thou must, you have to accept the, letting him dodge responsibility in order to give you a key item, which sucks, but that's not it. That is the peak of the 90s right there. Let's be completely real. I am paranoid saving because this can go very badly depending on what's in here. yeah, it looks like we don't have to go to desert right away. Some of the dungeons in the game are optional and will straight up kill you. I mean, it's bad. You got anything good? PCBs. So fresh eggs. Fresh eggs are an item that will sit in your inventory and eventually go from little baby chick to chicken. You can sell chickens for $110 a piece. The randomizer will limit you to doing that twice. The vanilla version doesn't really limit you, but they just stop like hatching after a while. Which I haven't figured out the exact amount in vanilla, but I don't really play vanilla anymore. Oh dear God. Alright, it's very good to get this boss out of the way early. That's that. Guardian. Sorry. I'm tracking on my boss tracker. Keeping track of what bosses you've done is a good thing, though. Alright, so we fight 4 of these 5 officers of evil. These are actually vanilla for a change. This is actually decent. That's a decent roll because these things are generally harmless. As opposed to something that can straight up murk you, like mushrooms or something. Oh no, it only lets you do it twice straight up. Free croissant. Little extra food items, not bad, but I'm gonna literally send this guy straight back to the Inferno. Oh, I already got tier 2? Oh baby, watch this. Let's see. Bite attack will give like poison or something by the end of it. Disrupt senses. I do not know because I've never taken it. I assume it would be like a silence, which would stop some casters from being really, really bad. However, I'm going to go ahead and take the status. That's guaranteed. Alrighty. Now we are out of Onet. And by out of Onet, I mean we're going to go climb to North Onet, and then we're going to go... Yeah, you get a total of 220 to jumpstart your economy with. There's a brainstone in a very early chest that will give you another 150 to work with. This is enough starting money to get you going for at least weapons and such. And light gear. The game doesn't punish you like too heavily for that. You know what? Give me food. Give me tacos. Give me tacos in my bag that actually, you know, exist instead of get left behind. I'm still slightly better over dinner, don't mind me. Hey, free money. That's a vanilla cracked bat in that chest, by the way. That is extremely rare. I am calling Dad from here because I am not potentially scared of what's coming up here, but it's good to like paranoia save quite a bit because you can get mega screwed over by various things in this game. Goodbye, Buzz Buzz. Have a nice life. Oh wait. Scaraba being early is bad. Reason why Scaraba is usually known for having really good item checks, but the fact that it's actually available this early means it's not going to have a lot of good stuff in it. Unless we get lucky on what's called Shop Sanity. Shop Sanity is a setting that I use to randomize 2 items in every shop NPC pool to be potentially kind of awesome. So that's why I pay attention and take notes whenever I am doing things. Get in there. Get back in your house. The vanilla meteorite piece. What is this game? Is this randomized? Is this randomized? It is because we started in 4-side, so it's partially randomized, but I guess just vanilla rolls do happen. Yeah, we live in 2026. Like, I feel that we can definitely... That's our first dungeon, by the way. We can definitely, like, evolve ourselves to, like, remove flashing lights out of video games, yet even modern stuff will actually do that, which is really jank. Go back to a nut and go south. I think we just go straight into Houston from here. We got a lot of stuff open to us right now, so I'm not terribly worried about going back to my starting zone. Oh no, that was definitely a typo on the layouts. It happens. Got it. Smile. I don't think there is a Earthbound and Link to the Past randomizer, but like that'd be an interesting like how Super Metroid and Link to the Past works, where you just go in certain doors and it flashes to the other game. That would be a fun, interesting fusion of a game for sure. I'd spend all my time in Zelda before coming here, so that way you can just freely go through this game. There are bosses available in this area that will straight up murk you. But we're gonna go ahead and check out the store here. Best thing to do when you're trying to sell stuff is talk to these guys. There's one here and one in 4-side, which will let you sell stuff very quickly because it takes away a lot of the menuing out of it. Woo! We're going up the super escalators. Those things are making you dizzy. Making me dizzy. Flash grenades, repels? Repels can be useful. Let's write that down real quick. We definitely appreciate if you have any spare resources you could potentially give us to help out with server costs, maintenance, things like that on the back end, so that way we can continue to bring you the content you love all throughout the year. This is a once yearly marathon where we specifically ask for that, and that is the only time of the year we ever do. Ooh, toothbrushes. I'll be remembering toothbrushes for later because there's a special meme for that. I suppose we can load up here? Yeah, a little bit of defense more. A little bit of defense. Great charms are kind of a waste, whatever. Protects against a little bit of status, so too fussed about spending for it. It's good content a lot of the time. Do I say all the time? I'll be honest, I have like submitted some really awful runs before, so I wouldn't say all the time, but definitely here for you all the time, giving you stuff a lot of the time. That's really good. I have food. I should have grabbed something, like literally anything. Because I actually have okay food items in here and I don't want to actually spend those. Back into the store real quick. And just go up to second floor and literally buy something. Literally anything. When you... yeah, give me some fries. We're about to go feed a nerdy kid, and nerdy kids will eat anything more. Nerdy kids just want a game and fix electronics and all that stuff, and we are... A lot of us are nerdy kids for that matter. What am I saying? Oh, goodness. So anyways, give Apple Kid $200 plus one food item, and you get yourself a key item, which is... And also another item out of the trash can. I do have something. Take that. If you are in Archipelago, Orange Kid, you can donate the same amount, 200 to him, but he also gives you an item check too, so yeah, actually give money to Orange Kid in Archipelago. Don't do it here though, no reason to here. Crowd. This opens up the shop and a psychic checkpoint in Lost Underworld, so I guess that's our next. You can come back here to Tucson after. Crowd. Crowd's great, except for when you are doing loose key items and you get a second Crowd because you can no longer pull it out of your inventory. That's the sucky word. You okay? We're hearing Smiles and Tears early. This is the song you normally hear towards the end of the game. You can sell that, but I'm also full. Here, yeah, here's the dilemma. Earthbound is a very inventory management heavy RPG. You have very limited spaces to work with. Link is RGLove2026. No, that's not. Let me look at this real quick. The form looks old, but people have been donating successfully this weekend, so I do not know the answer to that. I'm sure if one of our mods is awake, we can go ahead and tell you the answer to that, but I personally am unsure of it. Teleport to Threed, okay. The Casey bat is something that has high attack power, but it also misses 75% of the time, so treat that how you will. Do we do our first dungeon right now? We have to do 6 total to finish our game. Check item boxes. There's stuff around here that might potentially be useful. I didn't mention, but in my flag sets, I have a 5% chance to find something incredibly good from a treasure chest, so knowing your item locations is important. That is unfortunately not fixable. If you can fix the spray can, it's worth 250. If not, it's worth like half. Or less than half, I forget. Toy air guns for a Jeff weapon. Secret herb, 11 herbs and spices. Yeah, buy kernel food, I guess.